Hey guys, what's going on? We're back this week. We are going to I made some major decisions this week and weekend. I'm actually gonna cut the front half of this frame off just to make my life way easier with the Mustang 2 crossmember. Which in this video we're gonna do a review on that too. Everything was beautiful. Thank you, Welder Series. You were extremely fast. The shipping, the customer service already has been excellent. Instructions are spot on. I have zero complaints about the kit, and I think it's gonna go extremely smooth. But that being said, so I moved the jack stands. They were all the way at the back of the frame. But what I did was, the frame is nice and flat here. So what I did was I moved the jack stands so that this section of frame is level. And then I went to the front and I mounted a bar across the frame. Made sure it is as level as possible. The kit says if you can't get it perfectly level, all you really have to do is do all your measurements on one side of the frame and duplicate that on the other side of the frame. I'm basically just making sure the truck is level so that when I cut these frame horns off, I'm not concerned with the frame horns being level. I can make sure that the frame horns are square to each other. When I put the level on the frame horns, the frame will still be true. That was my main concern and why I got it level before I did any cutting. Okay guys, I don't know how well you've seen that. I tried to hyperlapse basically on top of exactly what I was doing, but I'll just quickly explain it. This point right here is the same on both sides. I think it's like a factory like alignment jig thing. So what I did on this side of the frame, which is the passenger side, because it's the cleanest, I got no power steering fluid and stuff all over the place. What I did is this mark right here, this is level. Like, it's not square to the frame, it's level with the frame. And then I went across the top, and then I squared it up to the other side of the frame, and then made a level line down and then underneath, so that this is going to be my cut mark on the frame. So this is 36 inches from the front of the frame on this side, which it is what it is, but to keep it symmetrical, I measured from the 36-inch mark back to this, which is 19 1/8 on this side. So then on the other side of the frame, I also did the same thing. I measured back from this side of the dowel back 19 1/8 and verified that is where it's going to mark out 36 inches for the new section of frame rail. It's got to be exactly 36 inches from here to here on the new section of frame rail. I'm gonna cut this frame off. That is what I'm gonna do. Well guys, it's done. Original front frame section is cut out. That took like nothing at all. This is gonna give me a fresh start. I gotta get some tubing. Hopefully be able to get it locally. Whole chunk is laying there. Like I said, 36 inches. There to that mark, out to here. That'll be my front frame section. It sucks that I'm still taking this thing apart, but we're getting to the point of starting to really go back together. Once I get these frame rails put back into place, then we're gonna be able to put the Mustang 2 crossmember in place, and then I think the next project after that is redoing the motor mounts with the new Mustang 2 crossmember. My apologies. I was going to make another mini-series video this week, doing some fiberglass work and getting my iPad mini mounted into the dash, but it actually got kind of cold out again. So today, like, we're sitting at 0 degrees Celsius, which is 32 Fahrenheit. It's the easiest possible calculation you can think of for Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion. But we do have, without further ado, Paul Horton's Welder Series weld together Mustang 2 60-inch track width crossmember. So I'm gonna open this up for you guys, which I've already opened it up, and I'll tell you right now, the packaging was immaculate. Everything was nice and secure. Everything was nice and tight in this box. The box is very small. This all comes flat. The assembly is pretty freaking sweet. So well, boxing plates and bolts, little bit of hardware, some spacers and stuff for, I believe, the lower control arms. These pieces are your upper control arm mounts, weld to the top of the frame. These slots, you can see right here, they are laser cut so that all you have to do is clamp this to a table and you can bend it. That makes life crazy easy. I'm going to try and show you at least one bend. There's a plate in here that it doesn't matter which way you bend it. It works. These are the coilover mounting brackets. These pieces are cut very precise. This is actually one of the nicest do-it-yourself kits that I've seen. I have used other companies' kits before. The nice thing is this was Canadian. I didn't have to pay any kind of like crazy duties or taxes or that kind of stuff. So this piece is actually the top of the cross member, the top and the back side of the cross member. These pieces are for where the rack mount goes. This is the passenger side section of the rack mount. You'll see it in the final assembly. Any of the stuff that I've read, they say it makes it easier to cut your notches first before you bend and weld this kit together. Once I have my new boxed frame tacked into place, I'll take all my measurements and notch these, and then I will get this tacked up and then double check the fitment. This is really nice. Again, I'd like to say thank you to Paul Horton's Welder Series. I'm not affiliated, I'm not sponsored by them. I am happy to say that I picked a great kit to use. I will be using more of their parts. I plan to use their 4-link kit. I'm going to show you how easy this is to bend. Also, you guys can see that it's snowing out here, right? Like, told you, it's cold. This is not good for doing fiberglass. So again, I apologize. So that's clamped down. I'm gonna go see what I have for something to grab this. Oh, by the way, this is 3/16. So you can see it's bent. I'm literally using 2 sawhorses and a 5/8 sheet of plywood, and I was able to bend this 90 degrees. Before this all gets welded together, I'll make sure everything's nice and square. But like I said, that was not difficult to bend, and if you had a more sturdy work surface, it'd be super simple to bend. That was so simple to bend. I wanted to see what this kit looked like. I got the 2 main pieces bent up, and this thing looks pretty beefy. I haven't bent the plates for the steering rack yet, and I'm not going to until I tack weld all this stuff together. But this is what it looks like. That was super simple. It took me like a total of a minute to kind of get this all bent up, which that would never happen if you were doing all this yourself. I have nothing but good things to say about this kit. I can't wait to get this front frame section together and all welded up. I gotta get a welder. Today's the day I picked this bad boy up. I know, might say, it's not a Miller, it's not the best, it's not the biggest. That's fine. This thing is capable of doing 5/16. I don't plan to weld any thicker than 3/16 on this truck, so should be plenty. Plus, it matches the color of the truck. Did a couple test beads on this frame that's gonna go, or section of frame that's gonna go to the scrapyard, just to see how well this welder kind of holds up to actually laying some beads. I am by no means a professional welder, so I just stick metal together. If you want to comment on the welds, whatever. I'm practicing. Tips and stuff would be great. Anyways, I laid down 2 just to make sure that I can get some decent penetration with this welder. And that's my main concern, is good penetration. The first one I thought might have been a little too hot, but I think I was just moving too slow, because the first one it laid in fairly decently. The first one did anyways. It laid in really well. It had a lot of burn to it, so I think I might have just been moving too slow. The second one, which is the darker one, because they were pretty close together, the second one didn't pull in as well. But I need to get some gas. I'm gonna set these frame rails up and show you what I'm working with. I got this first frame rail section mocked up. Show you what I did. Frame rail is here. What I did was I went as far back into the frame rail as possible, while keeping the square tubing uncut, untouched. And my plan here for this gap is to actually cut out in the stock channel and fold this top lip down. And then I'm probably gonna strengthen this up in here by continuing this to about, I'll fill in this with a plate, or fill this in solid, and then I'll probably plate back probably to where that jack stand is. Anyways, yeah, so in here is going to be completely boxed in to give it the strength that it needs. It's going to be way stronger than the front section, or the stock frame was anyways. Actually, the 2.3 liter Lima that was originally in here, because of the iron block, I think, if I remember correctly, weighs very close to the V6. So the 3.5 liter only weighs 425 pounds fully dressed. Then I came over here, my 36-inch mark, measured out to here. It's perfectly 36 inches. So there, I don't know if you can see it, but it's exactly 3 feet. And then what I did was I took my little bullet level and made sure that my flat section of frame was level, and then came over here, same thing, made sure it was level. So I'm gonna tack this together. Well, I kind of ended up saying f it, and I shouldn't have, because I wanted to see how well this would. I think that's some pretty good penetration, but it looks pretty ugly. I think it's going to end up being touched up with a grinder. Yeah, that's kind of how I think it's going to work out. Anyways, okay. We will get on to the other side, and I will kind of hopefully show you what this looks like here in a little while. Well, they say if you can't weld good, weld a lot. I don't know, that's pretty strong. It's penetrated. Plug welded here, plug welded here. Like I said, basically like along here is gonna get cut out, and then I'll fold this section, the top of these frame rails down onto here. That'll give it some more strength, as well as inside of the frame rail too. Yeah, these frame rails are in place. It's basically a boxed frame rail. Now I can measure out. I'm gonna set the fenders back up on it, measure out my ride height, my spindle center line. I can get this Mustang 2 cross member in here. It's kind of starting to take shape, but not really. Once this Mustang 2 cross member is in, hoping you guys will really start to enjoy the content. Those of you that are here watching, I really appreciate it. If you got any tips, point them out. If you guys got projects of your own that you just think that, you know, this isn't gonna work, or I can't do this, yeah, you can. I'm out here with an angle grinder, a Lincoln MIG pack welder, and a 97 Ranger. Sorry, 96, 95, 97, I don't remember. I'm trying to put an Ecoboost in it. It's gonna work. Things are starting to come together. I got the heads on the motor, new front frame rails in place. Next week, the Mustang 2 crossmember will be in place. That is this week's video. So anyways, again, hit that like button, the subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram. I kind of fell behind a little bit this week. We got crazy busy at work. But I'm gonna get cleaned up, get this video edited and uploaded for tomorrow. We will see you guys later. I'm out.